Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Erik Prince has disrespected the entire African continent. Every single president has been disrespected. What are Africans going to do about this disrespect? What gives this Caucasian white man so much confidence to think that he can say what he just said? Listen to this.
Then it's time for us to just put the imperial hat back on to say, we're going to govern those countries if you're incapable of governing yourselves, because enough is enough. We're done being invaded.
Because our own national security risk is at stake.
Exactly.
National security interests are at stake.
You can say that about pretty much all of Africa. They're incapable of governing themselves and benefiting their citizens because the governments there are all about looting and pillaging and lining their pockets and going shopping in Paris instead of actually making their country better.
People on the left are going to watch this. They're going to say, wait a minute, Erik Prince is talking about being a colonialist again.
Absolutely. Yes.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I am your host, King053, Mr. Easy Imadi, Enengidenge, and we're back at it again. We go to the United States this time to this foolish man called Erik Prince. A businessman, a former I think he was in the army and a Navy SEAL. I believe it's Navy SEAL. A former Navy SEAL man who believes he can disrespect. Navy SEALs man officer, a former Navy SEALs officer who thinks he carries the authority to disrespect African president the way he just did. I want to break down this because we are making noise, but our people are not listening. Number one, my African people, white people will always see you as monkeys hanging on the tree. They don't have a different image for you. That is the image they have. They don't see that you are civil enough to rule yourself, to govern yourself, to have control for your own life or make choices for yourself. That is how white people will always view black people. Always. And this Erik Prince nonsense, he's proving that point clearly. Now, the first country in Africa to be independent is Ghana. In a very short foreseen time, Africa would be independent for 100 years. And in that 100 years, we have allowed our colonizers to continue to loot the ground, the minerals, our land, without any consequences. To the point whereby America thinks they can come in our land and do as they please. Now, the reason why Erik is saying what he said is because America is already strategically placed in African countries to take over Africa should Africa even think about fighting America. If you think that you can close the mines that America owns, if you think you can close the businesses, the national interest in your land, you've got another story coming. America has got army bases. America has got army bases in many African countries. Many African countries. Just to name a few, we know that recently, the most recent one is the army base in Zambia. America can at any time fly their fighter jet and destroy South Africa in no time. You know, South Africa's army is almost close to useless. America has got an army base in Cameroon. America has got an army base in Egypt. America has got an army base in Niger. America has got an army base in Kenya. America has got an army base in Djibouti. And America has got an army base in Kenya. I think I said that. In Kenya, yes. And many other countries, I can name many other countries where America has got an army base. So when these people say we should just go there and say, if you can govern your country, we will do it for you, it's a serious threat. But you're going to see African president sitting, watching this clip on their phones and doing nothing about it. Because for how long must a channel like mine scream that one Africa, one land, one Africa, one army, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one language, and one Africa, one president, and nobody hears it? Divided we fall, my African brothers and sisters. These white people are going to look at us and say, you've been free, you've been independent for 100 years and you have done nothing with your land. We are coming back to recolonize you with bombs, missiles, and nuclear power. What are we going to do? What are we going to do if they find us divided? What is Africa going to do? If America decides now they want to take Congo, who's going to stop them? Who's going to stop them? If America decides now they're going to bomb South Africa, which army is going to stop America? Can somebody tell me? Because you guys don't want the one Africa, one army. You want an Africa that is divided with the borders that were created by our colonizers. That's what you want. You don't want to be united behind one language. You don't want to be united behind one currency, a currency that will be stronger than the dollar. You are busy wasting time, dancing around, drinking, playing sports. But anything that you are doing does not benefit the black community. How many times must I tell you, Africans, that the time is not on our side? We need to unite and unite right now. I don't have time for fighting Zimbabweans. I don't have time for fighting my fellow Zimbabwean brothers and sisters. They are not the enemy. Lesotho is not the enemy to South Africa. Mozambicans are not the enemy to South Africa. You are calling them illegal foreigners. The illegal foreigners are the colonizers who gave the Dutch, who gave the French, who gave the Belgians, who gave the British citizenship here in Africa. Those are the illegal immigrants. But you don't want to hear that, because as a slave, you are made to obey your master, your monster, to protect your monster who has killed, raped, and taken your land away. Today, they are watching. This man, Eric, is not speaking only his thought. Many white countries think the same. They are regretting, why did they give independence to these African countries? Because we are now disturbing them from looting the way they want to. So I asked again, when is Africa going to wake up? When is Africa going to wake up? One day, one of these coming days, a president is going to utter those same words. The French president is not far from uttering those words. He's not far. He's not far. America, if they wanted to, can honestly take Africa. We don't have armies here. Our presidents are made to shift the budget of the army. Like our president Cyril Ramaphosa has cut the budget of the army. The Navy SEAL, it does not have enough budget to even practice. Our helicopters are grounded. Our jets are grounded. He has cut the budget of buying the jet fuel. Our technology is outdated because we are always dependent on other people as Africans. We don't have a serious fighter jets here in Africa, serious ones. We don't have nuclear power here in Africa. That is why Americans can say whatever they want to. Because number one, we are divided. We don't want to unite. Over 500 languages in Africa. Why can't we choose one? Why so many languages? Why? Why so many tribes? Why can't we choose one language and unite behind that language? Educate ourselves with that language. Use that language for trade and force the rest of the world to learn that language. We are the biggest population in Africa. In the world. Africans are the biggest population in the world. We are the biggest consumers, but we are consuming rubbish. We are consuming Instagram. We are consuming TikTok. We are consuming YouTube. We are consuming Facebook. All of these things that don't benefit us as the black community. Now they are saying they're going to come back and colonize us again. Colonize 2.0. It's going to happen if we don't unite. I'm telling you, it's going to happen if we don't unite. My problem with what Eric said is that there is no consequence on that racist statement that he just said. No consequences whatsoever. Whatsoever. He's free to say that. He's probably going to repeat it in the near future. Nobody's going to stop him. No African country is going to chase away the embassies of America from their countries. To say, listen to what that man said. If that man does not withdraw his statement, you, the embassy here in South Africa, go home. But they were quick to say they want to chase away the embassy of Israel out of Africa. Well, Israel is not attacking any Africans, but they are attacking Palestine. They were quick to act. And you ask yourself, who's controlling us really? Who's controlling us? That is why we need to take heed to the lessons that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are teaching us. Those three countries are the only three Pan-Africanist countries in Africa. Those three countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. This man, this statement, if we let statements like this slide, oh, the next thing that's coming is a missile, I promise you. Don't say King never told us. Don't say King never told us. If you're a politician somewhere and you're not making noise about this statement that was made, we've got cowards of politicians. Cowards of politicians. Part of what he's saying is true. Shopping in Paris and doing all of those things. But he must never disrespect us and tell us that he can come and run our countries better than us. Must never do that. Must never do that. Who's going to stop him? That's the question. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.
Black Heart, the Hustle Continua. 100% good quality t-shirts. Made to inspire your goals and dreams. T-shirts are now available at an affordable price. Place your order now. 068-473 6908. Instagram at Black7576. Facebook page Blackheart.